everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays City Skylines. What are we doing over here in the northwestern corner of my city? That's a darn good question. We have a lot of buildings that are going out of business as a... Whoa, okay, what is this one? Like, not too few services? This is the one that I don't know how to solve, actually. So I'm concerned about that, but what I'm hopeful for is that... let's fill up this shit with industrial. Sorry, not industrial, offices, which are a variant on industrial. But my thinking is, if we put enough jobs for the highly educated over here, people will move in. As people move in, heavy industry will stop running into problems. Power grid might not fill in appropriately here, but I'm thinking, there's really good demand for commercial. Man, that always blows my mind. First few weeks of this series, I really struggled with getting commercial demand, and it has never really gone down since. We'll zone like residential all along here, and also like on the interior areas here, just because they're a little bit more insulated from traffic, and then we'll put industrial around them. We'll fill in the gaps in infrastructure as is needed. And then we'll see if we have to district it to prevent heavy traffic from getting into the industrial area, or from getting into the residential areas, but for now, I'm not overly concerned about it. Let's throw this there, this there. I'm assuming that the offices will fill in pretty quickly, but actually now that I look at it, we're probably going to have commercial show up before anything else. Could we in good conscience fill up the rest of this with commercial? Honestly, I think the answer to that question is yes, even as we have a ton of buildings going out of business over here. I'm assuming residential demand will go up as jobs come into the city, or into the district rather. And there's nothing to panic about right now. Plus, if we're going to have to bulldoze buildings, I would rather bulldoze them all in one fell swoop as opposed to having to do it piecemeal. Well, if we're just going to do the rest of the area outfitted in commercial here, why don't we just pull out this mode right here and just click and drag, and this will cause some minor problems, but that should be okay. Alright, so I'm assuming a lot of businesses have gone under here. Let's take this opportunity to bulldoze them, and we do have, remember, more land that we can actually buy now that we've gone through the last threshold, or the most recent threshold at least. We're still making a surprisingly decent amount of money, and I do mean surprisingly. More industrial buildings showing up in their stead here. Dude, you don't want to... Oh, I didn't mean to bulldoze that shit. You don't want to move out of this area, man. It's gonna be huge. We got a university right next to us. You think you're not gonna get your land value back here? I think you are full of Malaffy Taffy. Alright. Just wait for residents to pop up here, and this area is gonna be golden. Guaranteed. For now, though, we're still making good money. Can we build those buildings that I suggested I would like to build? Oh, Colossal Order offices can come up. Again, we'll just throw them kind of in the commercial area. A little bit of noise pollution. But I don't know anything about noise pollution except that rock and roll isn't it. That's going to take up a bunch of residential space, which I don't want to do. Where's the... So I can put it there. It's commercial space. Let's try to do so. Yeah. Our city's new attraction is blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's gonna get some tourists, okay. It's a nice looking building from the top, too. I appreciate that. Not every building in cities does look that good, so that's pretty nice. And we should be able to build a grand library, too, right? Maintain for 10 weeks. I see how it is. Our water grids are all effed up. More intake would be the solution that I would present. Is that poop water? That's poop water! That's poop water. You can all... I think it's poop water. Relocate. Rather than just building another one. Yeah, we'll put it up here. That should be able to handle it. Never should have become an issue in the first place, but... I don't know why I hooked it up twice there, but you should have water now. You don't have water? Okay, let's standardize the grid by connecting us to this one over here and then also to this one over here. That should handle it then. Yo, the water's not flowing, dog. Yo, dog, the water's not flowing. Oh, it's because it's paused. Yeah, okay, the water is now again flowing. It wouldn't hurt to build some more intake, though. That'll keep us going for the next little while. Yeah, I don't see any problems happening as a result of this, unless those were accidentally drains, in which case it would be a pure disaster, but that's okay. We're gonna be able to build something pretty soon. I'm excited about it. Grand Library is ready to go, just on time. Building must be placed roadside, in case you were curious. Outside of city limits. Don't even talk to me. These people have, like, no happiness. I'm not going to take all the blame for that. I probably should be building some parks, though. That's fair. And as a result of... Oh, no, we still need... I've got this all messed up now. Hadron Collider needs Posh Mall. Or an opera house for the space elevator. Posh Mall. Posh Mall. It's starting to lose all meaning. Opera house. Oppression office. Observatory. Servicing services offices. Where's our Posh Mall? All tax rates at most 4% I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if that's something that I can conceivably swing here. I would like to. That just makes me cynical, man. The crime rate is high at the aquarium. I want to build a special building. So, I'm sorry, economy. Goodbye. All fucking tax rates at most 4%. Forever? Or just for like a couple of days? Because I can keep this going for a couple of days, but not too long. Posh Mall. All tax rates at most 4%. 4%! I'm losing $150,000 a week. It's gonna go up to like $200,000 a week. How long do I have to hold this shit for? It's killing me. We gotta reverse the trend soon. Oh, it's coming. We gotta keep it there for like 20 days. I don't think we can't afford to keep it there for 20 days though, yo. 20 weeks? 20 weeks? It can't be done. I'm sorry. We can't afford to keep our city services running like this. And we can bring our education budget down, but taxes have got to go back up, man. We got to be operating at like at least 11% here. I don't know how I'm going to unlock that. It's like every single one of these buildings, or every single one of these monuments, just requires like a little bit too much oomph for me to get to. I can't quite make it work. Hopefully this will even us out and put us back in the black here. But let's see what we're lacking for other monuments potentially. Lazarette Plaza, Courthouse, and Oppression Office. I mean, I really like to build like a space elevator or a large hadron collider. Cathedral of Plentitude, Servicing Services Office, Business Park. Alright, we're making a lot of money again, actually. Did we have like a staggering amount of people come to join our city after I lowered taxes to 4% and then I scummed them out of it? Because we were not making this much money before, but maybe I had taxes like slightly lower than this before, I don't know. If we can do it non-sequentially, I could possibly make it happen. What does this even mean? 0 out of 6. I don't know. I don't know. Tell you what I will do. I'll throw down some parks and recreation here. Beautiful. People slightly happier to live in the area. No parks over here in quote-unquote Wood Hills. The irony is not lost on me. This might help out a little bit. You're not getting any water? Did I put a university down there but neglect to put water next to it? That's so Ryan. Oh, it's just a administrative mix-up there. No big deal. There we go. And we're still making good money here. Unfortunately, be careful of the power lines. Okay, be careful of the power lines, in case you didn't notice. But also, I'm not having as many people move into this area as I kind of thought would. I didn't really think that there would be huge not financial, but huge employment problems. I built a decent amount of space over here. Or a decent amount of residential space, I should say. But people are still getting mad. That being said, our city is still growing pretty nicely. Small garbage-related issues aside. I mean, we could rezone this as high-density residential, but the low-density residential is not totally filled in yet. What we did want to do, though, is pretty much exactly the same thing we did last episode and purchase this right here. Simulated City is our achievement. That's kind of cheeky. I get it. So let's, I mean, we probably hit maximum city size then. Let's, not that much demand for industrial, huh? Let's do what we always do and zone out our area appropriately here. So we'll take I'm gonna leave it on like speed 1 while I do this. We'll take a 6-lane road with trees and we'll try to curve it out appropriately here. It's gonna be kind of an ugly looking intersection, temporarily at least. And we'll do it like this. And then we're gonna take the 6 lanes and just go for a straight line. Slope too steep. Slope too steep? It's on the ground. And we'll build this out like so. Alright. Now, we do want to have an on-ramp and an off-ramp over here, because the more of those we have, the less any individual on-ramp necessarily suffers from a lack of traffic. At least that's my reasoning here. So let's take our on-ramp tools, and we'll start with the obvious. We'll give ourselves as much space as possible. Maybe this is good for an off-ramp, and then we'll throw our on-ramp over here. Super simple on that side. And then on this side, we probably just need to go up a little bit. And then we can go across. It's going to create another intersection, look a little ugly, but that's okay. And then for an off-ramp, it should be very simple. You're driving along here. Space already occupied. Space already occupied. You're driving along here. The space is already occupied, though. You got to be careful about that. These are not one-way. Yeah, so you're driving along this side of the road, and then you decide, hey, I want to get off. There you go. There's your off-ramp that way. And then maybe you take this way, and then you just go up and over here. As far as on-ramps and off-ramps go, this is a lot less of a clusterfuck than we've been dealing with. Wait. Do I have this set up right? Yeah, those are leaving the city. These are entering the city. Okay. Good. And our population's still growing. I'll admit, New Gastown kind of sucks. New Gastown is not holding it down the way that I hoped that it would. But that's why we're going to change all that. With New Gastown. Founded with exactly the same design principles in mind. Put this intersection up here a little bit. And then we'll do what we do best, baby. Grid it out. New Manhattan. Get excited. We're gonna have to leave like a weird little space in between here. Oh yeah, come meet me, honey. I live right next to the freaking on-ramp. Is that supposed to be a problem? You know, some people gotta live next to the on-ramp, man. It's okay. Life goes on. I like doing all this in advance. So that, you know, we've already got our space laid out. We can kind of visualize it a little easier. Probably throw in like one extra intersection like that, just so there actually is an ability to connect. I don't want to put another grid there just because that looks hideous. Not that this area doesn't look hideous already. I don't really want to connect the intersections into the on-ramp, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, or the off-ramp. And again, you could make these grids tighter, but I'm not trying to necessarily get a 50 million person city going here. Alright. Let's start with, you know what? Let's start actually with the thing that has the most demand, which is commercial. And we'll build commercial out along these roads right here. Like a huge swath of commercial space. Why? In order to get buildings in here that will then allow me to build out my power grid the way that I would like to without having to worry about power lines. Let's try something a little different here. And I'm starting to think 100,000 might come sooner rather than later, baby. There we go. All covered for water. We'll go up to speed 3 and we'll wait on this for a minute. We're almost up to 75,000. How's power? Good. Water's good. For power, because we can afford to, let's throw down a couple more of these. People go apeshit over the green energy anyway. Great stuff. How's this area? New Gastown is a ghost town. I'll tell you what I will do. We will, we'll rezone this as its own area, and we'll really lower the tax rate to live here, in the hopes of driving a little bit more residential demand. And maybe I could rezone it to high-density residential. But for now, let's pull out our district map here, and we will basically just start from down there and push Gastown out. We want to encourage industry in the Holly district. Tax relief. There you go. A lot of tax relief if you live in this area. Now, I expect this to not necessarily do fantastically for us, fundamentally and financially speaking. But if it at least draws residential demand up a little bit, I'll feel pretty good about that. And in fact, if we're going to be going for high-density residential, why don't we start with the obvious and we'll actually de-zone a little bit. They're having garbage problems anyway, so now, you know, now's the time. Hey, we just lowered taxes. By the way, we're kicking you out. And we'll raise taxes once this becomes the most glorious part of our city, which inevitably it will. This is what Manhattan started like, man. At first it was New York's toilet. I don't know if this is true, by the way. I'm just talking out of my... I'm trying to make myself feel better, basically, for the fact that my city kind of sucks right now. Citywide residential demand is low. However, I'm thinking due to the tax concerns, it may actually come up here in this one very specific region. That's my hope, anyway. For now, this place is going to be a shithole, and nobody wants to live here. But that's just for now, baby. Alright, our other cemetery is filled up. That's not a great sign. Every time a cemetery fills up, I'm basically just going to build like 5 more incinerators, so... And by incinerators, I mean crematoriums. My mistake. It's being built up slowly but surely. Similarly, our commercial area right over here is not necessarily blowing the doors off, but one day, man. Well, when people move in here, they're going to need jobs. So we might as well set up our office park. And each one of these, you know, like begets like, man. It's a chicken and the egg type thing. People need jobs. And the jobs need people to work them. Otherwise, they won't build an office there. Hopefully, there's enough people in the city that will commute to these jobs until people can actually live here themselves. Are you getting power? You're getting power, and I'll build out some water here. And it's worth knowing that even though it looks shitty right now, our city is actually still growing in population pretty rapidly. There's just going to be a few false starts down in the Holly district here, as there is nobody to work here. Which is probably something I should have considered. I mean, you know what? Fuck that. It's something you should have considered before you set your business up here. Am I going to do all your market research for you? You want daddy government to tell you where to put your business? I don't think so. Take some personal responsibility. Alright, what do you got here? Get rid of that. Still loving this colossal order building. The bastion of our local economy. Guess we should zone this up. I'm not lowering taxes here. This area is too hot to handle. And actually, now that we have businesses coming in, what we should do is probably build the obvious stuff. We're going to need crematoriums. We're going to need a hospital. We're going to need a fire department. I figure, like, you know, why not go big on this, basically. We can afford to right now. Firewatch, another achievement. We're going to need schools. Actually, we're running out of money here, but it's only because I've been building out so quickly. I probably can get away without putting in another university in. And land value is already skyrocketing. We might as well throw down some parks, and, you know, why don't we throw down some big ones? I never throw down the big parks. They do need power, though. So I guess I should keep an eye on that. Throw a park down like here. These are extremely cheap. Oh, are you hearing the land value go up? I'm hearing the land value go up, and I'm liking it. Not making really anybody happy right now, but one day, I assure you, people will be thrilled about this kind of park coverage in this area. They'll say, yeah, the area is right next to the highway, but have you heard of all the parks? And they'll say, yes, I have. Nobody shuts up about them. Still waiting on some high-density residential demand there, but we're up to 76,000 already. It's feeling pretty good. You're full, huh? I liked it better when you were empty. But once we empty you out, we'll kick you out. Similarly, let's try to empty that one. I mean, this is going pretty well. Certain parts of the city are not necessarily, you know, the most glamorous. But certain parts of the city are doing real nicely. I think we've done a pretty good job of creating this city right here. And I'm proud of it. It's the best city that I've ever run. Like in this game specifically. So I'm happy about that. I figure, like, they're just parks. We don't need to give them power right away. You know, this whole area is a park. Look at all the trees. You don't need me to designate it as a park specifically, I think. As the buildings build up, they'll get power naturally. This is the area we have to care a little bit more about as we wait for more and more people to show up. I really don't want to lower taxes. It's just it's a recipe for disaster financially. But we're getting there. I'm sure in time we'll get there. Any more unique buildings? I mean, that's one of the reasons for our financial troubles, but still. Hey, we got some residential demand. You know, there's an up-and-coming district I think you might be a big fan of. It's right next to the aquarium. In Vancouver, these places would be like $8.5 million each. Mind you, if you were next to the aquarium, your house would be in the middle of Stanley Park, which is it's pretty prime real estate right there. Pretty sweet buildings. Yeah, I mean, if you're a helicopter, you gotta love this area. Plenty of great places to touch down. Still making 28 grand a week. Growth a little slower than I expected. Sometimes that's a good thing. You building up? You're building up slowly. I can accept that, Holly District. Take as long as you need, but just a little bit faster than you want to, please. Because I don't want to spend the rest of my life bulldozing all of these small businesses that are popping up over here. Like now, I'm just going to say it, it's probably not a good time to open a trucking company right off the highway. Historically, those businesses have not done relatively well here. I would give yourself a couple years just to wait for the Holly District to catch up to your ambition, because it's not quite there yet, unfortunately. And what I really want to avoid is just making this area 100% high-density commercial and offices, but as of right now, I can't deny what the game is telling me, and the game is telling me that People want, well, not people, but businesses want, they want to build high-density commercial here. Who am I to say no to that? A little click and drag probably saved me minutes of my day. Just fill in right against the road here. I bet that'll all fill in before we get residential demand again. I would be very surprised if it didn't, actually. What is wrong with our garbage collection services? You live here? You're not supposed to live in the fish hook, girl. The fish hook is for smelters and foundries only. It is not fit for human residential consumption. Hey, thanks for finally bulldozing that building next to me, asshole. Well, geez, you're quite rude. Anti-capitalist almost. Drugstore abandoned. What is this, fucking The Walking Dead? These commercial businesses are going to be so sorry they left when the high-density residential traffic picks up. They have no idea what they're in store for. Oh, yeah, great idea. Why would you build next to the power when you could instead build in no man's land and completely ruin my life, you assholes? So I'm assuming you still have no power. Is that you have no power? We can do something about that. We can do something about that. By just ruining like an entire city block worth of possible landscape here. At least you'll have power now. You selfish so-and-so. Still, we could hit 80,000 by the end of this episode. Let me see how much time is left. Can't be more than a couple of minutes at this point. Yeah, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. So literally, it was more than a couple of minutes, but not by much. Uh-oh. A building has burned down. I've just accepted that if you live in the fish hook, your chance of death by fire is like, I don't know, it's probably plus like 80% versus the norm of the population. That's a, you know, a livelihood detriment. It's a lifestyle indicator, man. You know, if you smoke and drink and party too much, you got 80% increased risk of dying from having a good time. That's just what life's like. I kind of do want to fill in this space over here. Let's see if we can at least get like a block or two. Like if we could fill in this block, I know we have other demand to worry about, but if we could fill in this block, I'd feel pretty stoked about the whole situation on our hands here. I'm not trying to manufacture a crisis or anything. Like, I think our city's going reasonably well. It's just the way we handle this will, in time, determine how long it's going to take us to actually grow out these portions of our city. And once they're at kind of like where they belong, you know, once they're meeting this demand, or once there's demand to meet, let's just put it that way. I think we have enough space to push it to 100,000 easily. The Holly district has got to take off. Lots of garbage-related problems, huh? Another incinerator wouldn't hurt. I would like to spread it out throughout the city a little bit more, but I don't really think we can. You know, this is already spoken for. But yeah, like, once we actually start filling in the space, you know, the Holly district gets kickstarted a little bit, I think our life is going to be a lot easier. And we're going to have a lot of people. Huge traffic problems. I didn't pull down the traffic, or sorry, huge budget. Huge garbage problems. I didn't pull down the garbage budget, no. Okay. It is getting filled up a little bit here, and I can't help but notice that we do have a little bit of residential demand. Long time no see. It's nice to finally meet you. It's a great area to live, close to offices, close to good shopping, close to the airport. There's a park nearby. 10 crematoriums. It's lovely this time of the year. And yeah, people are filing in. Too many jobs, I guess, which I guess is a good thing. Oh, that's snatch up that prime real estate literally right next to the park. That's just good real estatesmanship right there. Still enormous traffic or garbage-related issues, huh? Oh, jeez, it scared me. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. On the next episode, we'll do what we can to solve these garbage problems in the Holly District. And keep on growing out the Primrose District, which is apparently full of, you know, the Lord's chosen people. No problems at all over here. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal, especially as the series goes on and on and on. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Once I bulldoze this. Alright, see you next time.